I'm going to work on my Dwarf Alberta Spruce. I work on this tree about once a year, this time of year, late summer. I'm going to unwire the branches, prune the tips of the branches, and then rewire the branches down again. My inspiration for this tree are the ponderosa pine trees that I see growing in my local area. So that's the plan for this evening. All right, here I go. So to remove the wire, I'll use a combination of these brand new wire cutters I just got. The brand, I don't know how to say that. Yeah, they're just cheap on Amazon. But I haven't ever had a good pair of wire cutters. And I'm going to use these, but also I sometimes just unwind the wire from the branches, so I'll probably do a combination of both. And it'll probably take me a while, so I'm just going to speed this up. So I'm going to do that first. I'm going to de-wire first. So a little bit about this tree. I've been kind of in bonsai zen mode. Didn't really feel like talking. Just want to work on my tree, but I also, oddly enough, it's kind of fun. I didn't anticipate this. I kind of enjoy having, I mean, it's not really an imaginary audience, really. You are very much a real audience. I kind of enjoy just talking about trees to somebody, even though you're not here present with me. I'd love if, if there's, I'd love to have a bonsai club, really. Go and work on trees with people and chat while I'm working on trees. Well, I don't really have anybody like that. I do have some friends who are getting into bonsai, but yeah, strangely, I do actually don't mind talking to the camera. It's kind of like having bonsai friends to talk to. Definitely not a substitute for real people, but in absence of a bonsai club, I enjoy chatting to a camera, and I know somebody's hearing me. Anyways, so about this tree, I know this tree cost me less than $8. I think it was like $7. And I actually only bought it because we're at a nursery, and it was about this time of year, actually, fall. And in the fall, there's often these pretty good deals at nurseries. And yeah, my kids just like the tree. I bought some other plants. I can't remember, maybe a rose. I think we were shopping for a rose to replace a rose that died. And I was looking at this tree. I'm like, oh, a Dwarf Alberta Spruce. And my boys actually just really liked it for some reason. I don't know. They're like, oh, you should buy it. You should buy it. And they didn't really have to obviously pull my arm or pull my leg too much or whatever the expression is. I twist my arm. There it is. Twist my arm. I think twisting the wire triggered my memory. So I was like, sure, we'll buy it. And I just kind of kept it around, and I thought maybe they would want to bonsai it. Or we could do it together. But they never really, at that time, nobody really wanted to work on it. And then one evening, much like this evening, such a nice evening tonight, just so calm, peaceful, just a great time to be hanging out, working on a tree. I asked, like, hey, you guys mind if I work on the tree? And they're like, oh yeah, do it. And I even was like, do you want to help? And they're like, no. And they kind of watched me a little bit, but we're mainly just playing. So yeah, it was a night much like tonight that I first styled this tree, and that was a few years ago. And it was that is another reason, I guess, why I do recommend nursery stock to beginners. Because I knew, like, I'd spent like maybe it was $7.99 or $7.49 or something. I'd spent less than $8 on this tree. And so there was like very little pressure. I'm like, if I kill this tree, it's fine. It's $8. Plus it's great entertainment. So yeah, I didn't feel that pressure. I guess I've never felt too much pressure with any of my materials because I've never bought anything over $100. And frankly, I only bought the tree because the boys liked it and they kind of chose it. So I just didn't really care too much about the tree, to be honest. and of course it's grown on me, literally and figuratively. It's grown on me, and it's becoming, you know, it kind of looks like a bonsai now. My original plan was to make it look like, you know, like your typical spruce in a high elevation spruce fir forests that we have here in Western North America. They often grow a lot of spruces, or at least Silva pine fir and Engelmann spruce. They grow at high elevations. I've spent quite a few, you know, quite a few hours in those forests, often working. And so that was my plan, to make this look like just a spruce. But now, as it's evolved, when I look at it, I just see like a ponderosa pine. And you know, that's allowed in bonsai. You can use one species of tree to look like another species of tree. And so this really looks like a ponderosa pine that I just see growing around my area. They're usually they have just straight trunks, not too many lower branches often, because I keep kind of pruning the branches up, and I think I'm going to take another one off tonight. I've been thinking about it, and I think I'm going to do it. Although I'm honestly vacillating. This one's on tight. Anyways, I'm rambling a lot. I don't know. Maybe I'll just include this on the video. I don't know. I do wish I had somebody here to hang out with, and they could be working on their tree, I could work on my tree, and we can just chat about trees. But in the absence of that, I will talk to my camera and know that somebody will hear me. Alright, so that is all the wire off. And now I'm going to do a little pruning. And so my goal with pruning is to take places where there's more than a bifurcation, where there's like 3 branches coming out of one spot, and to reduce that, and just to push the branches in as far as I can, while of course still leaving foliage. And now I actually want to make the big decision about this lowest branch right here, and I'm not sure where I'm going to keep it or lose it. I had decided I was going to lose it, and I was quite set on that, and I'm just going to look at it. And yeah, I'm rambling so much. This is going to be a long video if I actually include all this. Maybe that's fine. Man. Yeah, I was going to lose it. I think I'm going to do it. Here we go. Words of Nigel Saunders, big cut coming up. I've actually, and why it's sometimes hard is like I've trained and wired this branch a few years now, and now I'm just going to cut it off. I'm going to snap it. So here we go. Big snap coming up. If I can snap it, I might have to prune it. Yeah, it is too bendy. So I'm going to cut it. Actually, that was surprisingly easy. I've been thinking about cutting that for a few months. It was no surprise. Maybe I'll clean that up later. But yeah, like I said, I'm going for that ponderosa pine look, and that makes it look more like a ponderosa pine to me. Okay, so I actually looked at the tree now with that branch cut. I'm glad I did that. I am happy with it, and I cut a lot off. This is what I cut off, quite a bit, the lowest branch. And I kind of been doing that on this tree. I had some lower branches. I was like, it doesn't look right. I cut them. And now this go around, I cut again. So now again, I'm going to trim out some of the places where 3 branches are coming from one spot. Alright, so I'm going to call that good for the pruning for now. And now I'm going to get wiring. And you know, I am running out of daylight. So I'm still going to film myself wiring. It's going to take me a while though. I'm a really slow wirer. Wirer. So we'll see. I might have to come back tomorrow and say, okay, here's the finished product. But I'll at least start the camera rolling. Alright, so I'm back with the wire, and these branches are getting pretty thick, and so a lot of this wire I'm going to have to double up, I think. I don't have anything thicker than this besides my super thick wire. So I think I'll have to double up. And yeah, again, I'm slow, so I don't know how much of this will actually show, and I'm guessing I'm going to run out of daylight before I can finish it. I'll use the 2-branch principle, so I'll use one piece of wire for 2 branches and of similar thicknesses. And yeah, again, I think I'm going to have to double up. So it's nice to see the tree without wire, yet these branches, I want them down more. I'm going to try and put them down more. So I am going to wire it, I think. Alright, so here we go. Yeah, kind of nervous to wire in front of the camera, I'll be honest. I'm not good at it. It is tough, and it requires a lot of mental energy, at least for me. More so than pruning. So here's how it ended up. I ran out of the light like I predicted. I worked on it for at least 1 more hour, maybe 2 more hours after filming. It takes me a while to wire, like I said. And I pruned quite a bit more off. But I like the way it's looking. I took off another 1 or even 2 more branches. But I've left plenty of buds on it, so I think it'll do pretty well in the spring. So I'm going to leave it here for now.